So, welcome to the team call, and I'm so excited to have so many of you guys on today. And we are going to be covering in the call vision and why. And I'm really excited about this because, honestly, guys, if you can get clear on your vision and why you're doing this as a business, regardless of whether or not you are brand new or you're a really seasoned coach, I can promise you that is the key to success. It doesn't matter how much training you do, how much you complete the business activity tracker from top to bottom. If you're new, you might not yet know what that is, but without having a really clear reason of why you're doing what you're doing and a vision for where you want to go with this business, I can promise you, you can grind out as many hours as you want in your business. You aren't going to get anywhere. And I want to be super blunt about that because I know for me, like, I came from a background where I had really academic parents. It was always about, doing a degree and having a great career. And, I don't think mindset and personal development really comes into that. And a lot of you guys are from that background. And so, my assumption when I started was that personal development and really like digging into like me and who I am and what I want from life was just not something that I thought would ever make any difference to my success. And I can promise you, the moment that I got clear on that as a coach, probably actually about 4 or 5 months into coaching, because I just ignored it for that long, is the moment that literally a switch was flipped in my brain and I just started to run, and all evaluations I'd ever had of my capability completely changed. And it was because I got crystal clear on what I wanted to do, where I wanted to go, and I also believed that it was possible for me. And I can promise you guys, no matter how skeptical you are, if you can open your mind to that concept, it is going to completely change, number one, the way that you view your business, but also the way that you view the world. And it's going to make you a lot happier, a lot more confident, and a lot less likely to even give a CRAP what anybody else thinks. Because quite frankly, I was always that girl that worried so much about what people thought about me. And now I couldn't care less. Either you're my person or you're not. And I'm comfortable with it. And I want more of you guys to feel that way, because I think as women, a lot of the time we don't. So before I go into all of the detail of that, I'm just going to cover off some noteworthy items. So the noteworthy items for those of you guys that are newer are always, when you log into your coach office on the dashboard, there's like breaking news. And I really want you guys from the get-go to be your own boss with that, okay? The quicker that you guys can be aware of what is going on for yourself, the quicker that you are going to see success, and the quicker that you're going to be your own leader of your own business, which ultimately is what you're going to do here if indeed you want to build a team, a residual income, and a business that is going to serve you for the rest of your life. So 30-day breakaway, for those of you guys that were going to do it, I think for the most part you have all purchased the early access. You're doing 30-day breakaway. Some of you guys, that's the new running and strength training program geared towards running a 5 or 10K. So if you're a new coach and you like the idea of that, definitely look it up or ask me about it. But it is under the FAQ on Coach Office, and it goes live for anybody not purchasing early access into the BOD member library on March the 22nd. Another new update to come out of leadership is that Saturday, November the 7th is the virtual super weekend. So guys, please, no matter whether you're in Canada, America, UK, please make a note in your diary and make your families aware that you will be wanting to attend that, okay? I can promise you hand on heart that if there is one thing that's really shifted my mindset with this business, it is being at events in the flesh or experiencing events virtually. Obviously, it's COVID times, but these events drive our business, they drive our inspiration, they drive our belief, and they really share what's possible in this business and sharing the wider vision in the community and everything else. So make sure you're here. I can promise you the girls that show up to this, they will do far better in their business than those that don't, because those that don't haven't made it a priority and they're not all in, okay? So first one, go all in. I remember my first super weekend. It was a small event in the UK and I absolutely loved it. So under the Coach Office FAQ 7974, there's an FAQ section. So pretty much any question you ever have about Beachbody, you can find the answer on FAQ. So start to be that leader for yourself. Find the answers there. You're going to be so much better able to help your people when they come in if you can teach them to do the same. This is huge for us, absolutely huge. I didn't know about this until I saw the dashboard today. The genealogy change request. So this is when you are enrolling coaches and you want to move them around within your business center. Typically, or always historically, you only had 5 days, right? And when I was a new coach and I was trying to build out my ranks, I would always enroll like loads of coaches on one side because we have a binary system and none on the other. Didn't realize, was kind of getting to grips with it. And then they were stuck where they were, which was just super annoying. For those of you guys building to Emerald and Diamond, you know more about that. For those of you guys that are brand new, please don't worry just yet. But all you need to know is that you now have 10 days to move somebody within your business center as opposed to 5, which is honestly a total game changer for us in terms of us seeing how that person comes into the business and then where we might want to move them. It's huge, absolutely huge. And then the biggest launch of the year, I can promise you hand on heart without even having done any of the sample workouts yet, will be 9-week Control Freak. That is a program that is going to launch with Autumn Calabresi. She pioneered 21-Day Fix and 80-Day Obsession, 2 of the most successful programs on the platform of all time. And as a new or more seasoned coach, I want you to remember this. New launches, if the idea of the program excites you, is absolutely what is going to propel your business. You need to be getting behind them. If you think it's your kind of program, get behind it. I can promise you, in the months where there's a launch that I've got behind, I double my income, okay? And then you have a lot of people recommitting. You might have people that have enrolled that have fallen off. There's a new program coming up and you can reinvigorate them, create a new group, which is indeed what I'll be doing for you guys. I'll be creating a coach group. And I know we loved having that MBF coach group in July when that launched. I'll be doing the same for Control Freak. So get all in on Control Freak. Early coach access is the 7th of December. Okay, I assume there'll be a sample workout releasing probably a couple of weeks before that. That's usually how they do it. And the customer launch will be December the 21st. So with that being said, before I kind of move on to like vision and why and just a bit more of the details, I really want you guys to remember this month, in terms of how the whole world is feeling, is really hard, okay? People are getting really sick of COVID. They're getting ill with it, but they're getting mentally ill with it. We're getting fed up with it. And there are a lot of people that the lights, they've just turned them off, right? We need to be those people who have the lights on, who are inspiring people, who are helping people, because I can promise you right now, there has never been a greater need for what we have to offer. We can help mobilize people in their own homes. They are suffering from depression. They are suffering from a lack of social contact. And if we get in our heads and feel the same, you better bet we're not doing our job in actually helping those people who need us to show up, okay? And over the past few days, I have seen so much more in terms of people wanting to know what I do, people commenting on my stories, people being inspired by what I do. But if you get stuck in that tough rut and you decide it's tough too, guess what? We're not being those coaches for people, okay? And I can promise you this final quarter of the year is absolutely where not only we make or break 2020, we make or break 2021 in this final quarter, okay? And always at the end of the year, you'll hear Melanie Mitro say this, you'll hear the top coaches say it, it's the time when they are showing up more than ever. I hit the floor in the final quarter. And the reason for that is that people are feeling lackluster in general. In general years, they are at the end of the year. This year, more so than ever, okay? And that may make it harder for us because we obviously aren't immune to these circumstances. We're going to be feeling it too, okay? And that's where leaning into personal development and focusing on your own mindset and taking that responsibility to be that coach for somebody that doesn't even know yet you can be their coach so that you can help them further down the track is our duty now more than ever. And I can promise you that if you show up during these really hard times, and I think they are hard times, and you can be that person that actually really helps yourself, and you're going to feel a lot better. You're not going to find the times quite so tough because you're actually leaning into this, into the community, into the team, into the programs. I can promise you that your business is going to blow up in December. You want to be all over that strategy for the launch because I promise you your December will fly and January will be absolutely insane. January, as I'm sure you can imagine, is the month when everybody is enrolling. I'd probably triple my business in January. I definitely wouldn't triple my business in January if over December I was like, I've got this event, I've gone out, I can't be bothered to show up. Like I show up every day in December on purpose. I almost do more because I know come January, February, in through spring into summer. That is our prime time, guys. So do not take your foot off the pedal now. If you take your foot off the pedal now, you're destroying your 2021. I can promise you that. Okay, and this launch is just, I'm so unbelievably excited for it. It's going to be amazing. So moving on, this is Coach Summit. For those of you guys that are new, if you hit Success Club, you're a success starter. So you hit Success Club 3 out of your first 6 months, you are going to get your ticket for this event for free. Okay, it's in St. Louis, it's in July. These are all the people in our team who've already purchased or won their tickets. I got my ticket free as a new coach. It was a non-negotiable for me for the first 3 months, because we only had 3 months back when I started to qualify to get a free ticket. I was going to get that free ticket, and I did it by the skin of my teeth, but I got it. Okay, so make that a goal, make that a non-negotiable. As a new coach, if you're serious about this business, you need to hit Success Club your first 3 months. Really, you do. It's just going to really prepare and serve you for the rest of your business and your confidence and belief moving forward. This is a book that I shared last week, but I know certainly Gail and Joe, I think, have downloaded this book. I'm listening to it for the 3rd time, and I think probably the cover, like initially, I'll be honest, the cover of this book, I was like, oh, that sounds really icky, like, oh, how awful, get rich, lucky bitch. She sounds not very nice. And it really put me off, and I didn't download the book probably for 2 months, but the Beachbody corporate team have shared it as a prize for kind of like a tracker prize, whatever. And I started listening to it, and honestly, it is the book that has made the single biggest difference to my income that I can testament any personal development to, because it gives you tangible guides of what a money block is, where it's come from, how your upbringing affected the way that you view money, and how you need to clear that before you can move to your next income level. Whether or not you're going to use this for coaching or for your career, to build your salary or build your income, or believe that you're deserving, because as women, we generally don't believe we deserve it. We believe that we should just serve the family. That's a generalization, but that is kind of, if you imagine, like centuries ago, we didn't earn money, and that's ingrained and instilled in us. And unless we take the time to work out those money blocks, we are always going to find it very hard to build our income. So I can tell you guys, like, that book is just insane. Start listening to it. She grates on me. I think Gail said she quite liked her voice. I think this depends on who you are, but I kind of get over the sound of her voice because the content is incredible. And I go through it kind of once every 3 months to clear more blocks that I have to build to that next level. Okay. So tracker prize, we have Marta, Elaine, Laura, Imogen, Charlotte, and Joe Bulldog. And the winner this week is Elaine. So well done, Elaine. And also, guys, if you're within your first month as a coach, you can kind of have as many one-on-ones with me as you need. But after that time, as I put in the team page, I do need to see you submitting that tracker in order to have an additional call with me. And I've started to implement something which means that if you submitted your tracker, you will be on the call immediately after this call. We'll just run it afterwards where you guys can ask me any questions, but really important. So I'll send across whatever vouchers it is you want, Elaine, so just let me know. Success Club. So I know it's been tricky a month. I definitely know with the US as well, you know, with their election situation, it's not the easiest, right? It's not the easiest season of the year anyway, okay? But I can promise you, like, I know a lot of you guys will look at this and be like, whoa, you know, remember, I'm almost 3 years down the track. I have a pipeline. I have a set way that I engage in my business. I'm disciplined every day. And I have a pipeline that's like a water wheel that just continues to turn, okay? And it's definitely been harder for me this month. But I can promise you, as I said in the beginning, if you continue to show up in the way you always show up, all things being equal, it will come to fruition. It might not come to fruition this month, because typically your business is going to take 3, 4, 5, 6 months to really get you up to speed. Okay, so just for those of you guys that are new, you can't expect to come in and fly. This business is not a get rich quick scheme. It is focused on loving what we do first, sharing it, and being patient and doing the vitals. Okay, so well done to Caitlin, who has hit Success Club 8. She's a month and a half a coach, so well done her. Gillian at 4, Liesl at 2, Marty at 2, Donna at 2, Gail at 2, Ginny at 2, and Joe at 2. And I know the sneak peek that we hosted was really successful in terms of helping coaches get started. So well done, guys. And I know you're working towards that. So success starters, we have Liesl, who's success starter for month 1, and Caitlin, just in this month, is her success starter month 1. So super proud of you. And I know those guys are gunning for Success Club through 2 and 3 to get that free summit ticket. And well done to Caitlin, who's been 6 weeks coach and became an Emerald coach just 4 weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago, sorry. So she was just a month a coach when she became an Emerald. So well done her. I know she's got grand plans for this business. She's super awesome. And Charlotte, new diamond coach. She's really working on tying down that diamond for 6 weeks. She is honestly, I know, an inspiration to us all. She's certainly an inspiration to me. I spent the night with her on Friday. We had to cancel our retreat because of social distancing, but I really felt I wanted to do something for Charlotte, and I was able to. And I can promise you, if there are qualities that I recognize and see in Charlotte, I see them even more strongly now. Some of the things she's told me about her life, and I'm not going to go into detail because it's her private life, but she is incredibly tough. She is incredibly driven, and she is going to go such a long way in this business. So be inspired by her. We all have our own story. We all have our own, past and history, and we can let that either destroy us or define us and help us see unbelievable success. And that is what Charlotte does. She decides that story doesn't define her. In fact, it drives her to seeing the most phenomenal success. And I have huge admiration for people that do that. And she's just such an example to us all. Coach of the week. This is something that is brand new, and I'm really, really excited to do this because it's not a reflection of Success Club. It is honestly a reflection of your whole entire ethos, your whole entire, ability to work with the team, your ability to put in the work to see the results, your wish to, go the extra mile, to show up on all of the calls. Jo is on every single power hour. She is the most upbeat, just kind of team player that I've come across, but she's also got a huge vision with this business. I don't think I've ever heard Jo complain about anything. She always sees the positive in everything, and she's such a huge part of the team, and she's a great support to me. And if you guys have worked in corporate, you've probably heard of the phrase managing upwards, but she's very, very good at doing that, and that is supporting your leader. Yeah, sometimes I think, and I've certainly been guilty of this in corporate, we think that our leader, whoever that might be in whatever capacity, doesn't need any support from anyone else because they're the leader, and actually it works both ways. And Jo is just amazing at that. So you're just such a joy to have on the team, and I'm so excited to see where you take this business. She's so determined, she's so resilient, she shows up every day on her social media. We think she's got the virus, and she's still trying to do her workouts. She's still going to try and get on the Zoom call at 6:15 a.m. And, it's that kind of mindset that shows me she's going to go an awful long way in this business, and it's exciting to run with you. Closest to diamond, we have Tasha, Ginny, Marta, and Jo, and I know you guys are all working really hard on it. Tasha is getting really close. I know she's been working kind of with COVID patients. She's been working overtime. It was her birthday this week, and she's been having a tough time, obviously, with that too. Ginny is super close to diamond. I think she just needs 2 more emeralds, and she's there. Marta is getting really close. She's staying so dedicated through her journey. She's a full-time teacher working in COVID times, and I know in Canada that's presented its own challenges to her, but she's doing really well. And Jo, who is, I think she's got 4 active coaches now, so she's halfway there. So super exciting. Diamond retreats. So I think you guys are all aware that it's going to be postponed until 2021. When in 2021 at this moment in time, given COVID, I do not want to say. But I am going to be starting a new push group on Tuesday, the 10th of November. As I said earlier, it is so important to me that we are moving through this time with momentum, because this quarter is the most fundamental of the year, okay? And so with that being said, I'm really going to bring the girls together who are active Emerald, who have hit Success Club for October or have hit Success Club by the 10th of November. And if that means I have 2 or 3 of you max, so be it. I'm going to run with you guys that are, putting in the work, getting the results, and really helping you like level up and increase your momentum through this quarter, because I know we've got a lot of you guys with huge capability, and just because COVID is present, I don't want that to stop us in the water. Yeah, your success is ultimately defined in how you act in the tough times. Okay, So Fantasy Fitball. And I was thinking about this. We've got quite a few new starters. So once they're through like their training, we'll redo Fantasy Fitball so that they can join us. But we have Team Ignite and Team Fearless. I hate to say I'm on Team Fearless because we came second this week, but Team Ignite, Joe's team, well done. I think they literally beat us by about 150 points to, I think it was 200 points this week. So we're going to be calculating our numbers this week, guys. So let's just see what happens. But well done. I know you guys are having a lot of fun with it. And yeah, it's just a joy to kind of have other people lead stuff, you know, and do things together as little teams. So vision and why. This is, as I said at the beginning of the call, everything. Okay, if we aren't clear on why we're doing something beyond just wanting to get fit and healthy, and we don't have a vision beyond just wanting to get fit and healthy, there is really only so far that you're going to go in this business. And certainly when I started to level up, it was this that completely changed everything for me. It wasn't necessarily any of the action points that I was taking. It was just my belief surrounding what I was doing and my ability then to move forward with a much kind of stronger mindset. So with your vision, what I wanted to do today is really make it a bit more sort of interactive in terms of you actually kind of workshopping stuff in silence so that you're actually working on this stuff whilst we're on the call. Because I think sometimes I've done like vision board calls where I'm like, do your vision board, submit it by X date. And I think sometimes, because I think, and certainly this was me when I started doing it, I was like, well, I don't know what to put on my vision board, like the world's my oyster, where do I start? I want you guys to think about your first initial goal in terms of your goal for where you are right now. Okay. So for you guys who are brand new, it might be to hit Success Club. Okay. For you guys that are a bit further down the track, it might be to hit Emerald or Diamond or 1-star Diamond. And I want you to start this part of the kind of, I suppose, workshop where I'm just going to put a timer on and you can do it in silence, is sit down, get your pen and your paper. So I hope you guys have got pen and paper, or if not, you could maybe do it in your notes on your iPhone, but pen and paper is going to be better. And write down what that goal means to you in terms of your ability to move forward, in terms of what it means for your life, in terms of what it means for your belief, in terms of what that then means for you, in terms of obviously then going for the next step. So for me, my vision with this business right now is to go 5-star elite, and the girls that are pushing for that with me know who they are. And the reason why, just so that you guys can see how I do this, that's important, is that it shows my team what is possible. I'm leading by example, and it gives me, as the leader of the team, the ability to help so many more people globally than if it was just me just helping boot campers, right? The more leaders that I develop, the more that they can help hundreds of people, okay? And my broader vision with this business is to help as many hundreds and thousands of women globally as I can with this incredible opportunity for their lives and for their health. And the way that I'm going to make that broad impact is by hitting that milestone, because it's going to give me even more belief. It's going to give my team even more belief. It's going to give my husband even more belief. And it's really going to show me that moving towards my first monetary goal, I'm getting very close to it. Okay. So you can see how it's not just about my vision with that goal for my business, it's also for what that provides for my family and working towards that vision. So I want you to sit down and write my vision and what that goal is and why it's important to you. It might be to do with your own belief. It might be to do with the fact that you can then see this as a viable business for somebody that's new, probably will be, and what that means for your life and where you're going to take it. Okay. And, you know, again, like if you're brand new, you probably don't know that much in terms of where you're going to take it because you haven't had the chance to see that vision yet. But I just want to say, this business gives you the potential to build a life without limitation. Hand on heart, if anybody believes that's not available to them, that is mindset. It absolutely is. And when I was in Arizona last October, every single person there I was invited as a guest was a 6 or 7 figure earner a year. Okay. So it is possible, but it's so important to believe it's possible, but to also have a vision for where you want to go with that. Okay. So starting with that first kind of parameter, I'm just going to set the timer for 3 minutes. Okay. So you're just going to write down that first initial kind of milestone for you with your business and what that means for you and why. If anyone's got any questions, just pop them in the comments. Okay, so that's 3 minutes. So hopefully that was helpful. Hopefully you've actually realized stuff even in that 3 minutes, and you've probably got yourself on a roll and you want to spend more time doing it, which is great, that you didn't even realize was important to you. And what you'll start to realize with these tasks that we're doing is that there's so much lodged in the subconscious beyond our normal conscious awareness that unless we start to become aware of it, we're actually just hindering our business, because we're actually not tuning into the stuff below that's actually the stuff that's really going to drive us. And I never believed in any of that stuff, but it honestly, like, that is the key to your success, whether it's coaching or your career or whatever it might be. Knowing why, okay, what it means for you, and then from there where you go. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do is much more broad. Okay, and I really want you to ask yourself this and tell yourself this as you're doing this task. When you start to write things down with this task and in your head you go, oh no, that's crazy, like that would never happen, to stop yourself doing that. Okay, because what I'm going to ask you guys to do is write down the kind of life that you would have in your ideal world. What would that look like? Where would you live? Would you travel? How would you travel? Would you have a holiday home? Would you upgrade your home? You know, would you buy a new home? How would that house look? Where would your children go to school? You know, whatever that means for you. And, you know, that might not even be like on your radar at all or important to you. I'm just sharing stuff to me that's important. So for me, like on my vision board is that we always fly first class. We go away at least 4 times a year. We own a Maryland lake home, and that we build our dream home with this business. And that Arthur goes to a certain private school that I've got on the list and is quite expensive, but I know that we will be able to get there with this business. And again, that might not be relevant to you, but I'm just sharing, you know, what my vision looks like. And I've got a vision board. I really want you guys to if you find yourself when you're doing this, oh no, that would never be possible. Oh no, that's too ridiculous. Oh, that's too frivolous. Oh, that's for someone who's really fake. And oh, how ugly is it that I would want something like that? That's not attractive. That again is like learned behavior. That's where that Get Rich Lucky Bitch book comes in. It's like thinking that it's crass, and just let the lid go on that and literally sit and write down in your ideal world, where would you live? How would you live? You know, what would your family do? How often would you try? How does that life look? Write it down, even down to the detail of what your kitchen might look like, if that's relevant. Okay, because again, that vision piece is going to be what drives you to do the work in this business, but also gives you the belief and the excitement every single morning. So every single morning I write down my vision and I look at my vision board, and there is nothing that is special about me. There really, really isn't. The only thing that keeps me showing up and keeps me dedicated day in, day out, and I don't let myself off the hook, is that I am never going to let go of that vision because I can't be asked to get out of bed. It motivates the crap out of me because I've spent time getting clear on what it is. And I'll be honest, to start with, I was like, that would never be possible for me. And I'm looking at, you know, let's face it, like it's not about the money, but it's the life it provides you with, the income growth that I've seen, you know, 2.5 years down the track. And it's crazy to me. It's absolutely crazy to me what that income growth is. But it's because I'm super clear on my vision. I know where I'm going. And I'm not going to allow anybody to tell me that it's not possible or that that's too over the top or that whatever it is. Okay. So the next 5 minutes, you're really going to spend literally, like maybe there were dreams when you were a little girl that you had, and you've just subsequently in life thought, well, that's never going to happen because that's not real life, because that doesn't happen to people like me for whatever reason. Again, that's limiting self-belief. Sit down and write down that vision, because I can tell you all, you are all deserving of that life. You are all deserving of that vision, and don't let anybody ever tell you that you're not. It's not crass, it's not ugly, it's not materialistic, because it's about what that life provides you with. Okay, and it might not necessarily be about the money. Okay, so fundamental, so fundamental. Okay, so I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. Okay, so hopefully, I mean, if you're still writing, definitely make sure after this call you take the time to really dig into that. And you know, it might be that you need to understand why that's important to you. You know, as an example, for me, the reason why going overseas and having an overseas home for me is really important is that as a family growing up, we didn't have the money to go overseas. We spent 2 weeks every summer camping in an A-frame tent in Cornwall. And as much as that was family time and, you know, my parents did the best for us, that it just, it didn't make me feel great. And I don't ever want my son to have to experience those sorts of holidays because I haven't been able to provide him with the kinds of experiences that I know he loves. You know, we went to Croatia in July because of this business, because I was able to kind of pay for that. And that was just one of the most wonderful experiences. So you can see it's not necessarily about the money, it's about the experiences you have, the experiences you are able to have and provide along the way. And that will be important, I'm sure, to some of you guys. But I really want you guys to be aware, as I said, like, did you do that exercise and did you feel uncomfortable? Did you do that exercise and feel like, I don't deserve this, or oh, that's really superficial, or that's really materialistic? And I want you to really recognize where those blocks came up, because those are all to do with limiting self-beliefs and often upbringing, how we were brought up. Like, I was certainly brought up by, particularly my father came from a really, really poor family, and he hates anything materialistic at all. He always used to talk about my uncle always having like the nicest car, and he thought it was really frivolous and ugly and unattractive. And so that was something that I was brought up with, and that certainly was something that came up for me. And now I appreciate that was his own limiting self-belief surrounded by his upbringing that then impacted me. And if I hadn't have worked through that, then I would never have had the ability to build my income or build that vision to where it is now. Okay, so I want you to really recognize that. And if those blocks came up, I'm going to speak about 2 books now. You Are a Badass with Money. Write that one down. That's Jen Sincero's second book. That has unblocked so many money blocks for me, because I have so many from, you know, just not having much growing up. And Get Rich Lucky Bitch, just what I recommended earlier. But please, please, if you did notice those blocks come up, please download that book and listen to it, because I can promise you, it doesn't matter how many times you complete your BAT. If you've got limiting self-beliefs, or you don't believe that you deserve a certain level of income or a certain life, it doesn't matter how much you want it, it's never going to happen. It will never, ever happen, and you are wasting your time. So you have to take that conscious, subconscious effort actually to work through those blocks. Okay. And after this call, I really want you guys to, I suppose, like homework, to sit down and do a vision board. Okay. Some of you guys might have done them in the past. Certainly for my more seasoned coaches, you probably have one. I've just updated mine. I shared it with some of the girls in my elite group earlier on. And look at it. And what you're basically going to do is get together a scrapboard of all those things that you've just written in your vision. Okay. Because you will learn as you do more personal development, that vision cannot come to fruition unless you've got a physical visual of the sort of things and the sort of life that you're striving for. Okay. I can promise you that until I got a vision board, I really didn't do that well with Beachbody. I went from hitting Success Club every month to hitting Success Club 24. Okay. Because that vision drew it all in, and I believed it was possible, and it got me really excited. As Elaine just said, she's excited. Okay. And what I want you to do is complete that vision board. And that can be for your business, for your life, for your career, for your family. You know, make sure you've got that all encompassed there. Because if it's just Beachbody and Beachbody goals, it's probably not going to excite you as a whole. Like, I love Beachbody. I obviously like bleed blue, but my whole life isn't Beachbody. My life is, you know, being provided for by Beachbody as a result of the fact that I love Beachbody too, but my whole life isn't Beachbody. Okay. And it's really important that you've got that kind of balanced vision board. And then what I want you to do, and I've actually just been thinking as that 5 minutes is passing, how can we get accountability on this? I'm going to add it to the Fantasy Fitball tracker. You need to show the people in your Fantasy Fitball group. And again, if you're a new coach, don't worry, because we'll get you added in a couple of weeks' time. You need to show proof that you have written out your vision, or that you've at least looked over it every morning. Okay, so you're going to send a photograph either of your vision board and just confirmation that you've sort of thought on it or shut your eyes on it for 2 minutes, or you're photographing your vision. Okay, what you've just written out, I write out every single day. However, I appreciate I have a lot more time than a lot of you guys, and certainly what Josh Coates has advised a lot of people to do. And I find I want to write it out every morning. It's like it's coming to fruition by the movement of the pen. And so for me, I need to be able to move the pen to bring that vision to life. But even if you're just physically reading that every morning, if you change one thing you're doing, don't try and complete the bat. Read that every morning and you will honestly thank me later. That is literally the one single one reason that I am so motivated, that I show up every day, that I'm like a dog with a bone with this business. It is my vision and why I'm doing it. The fact that I don't ever want Arthur to experience things that I experienced growing up, like the car breaking down and me having to half push it to school and the embarrassment that I felt. You can see that's like a really deep why, is that I don't ever want him to experience that. So kind of digging in deep to those experiences and why you're driven by that vision, you know, and kind of overcoming that. So hopefully that's been useful. It really should be, but I can promise you that that is the only difference in this team between somebody that is doing really well and somebody that isn't doing quite so well. Hand on heart, that is absolutely why. It's 90% mindset. Your success is 90% mindset. So I always say, like, if you're thinking about skipping one thing, skip your workout and do your mindset, right? Your vision and your why every morning. Like Christmas Day, don't care. My vision comes out, I write out my vision. My morning routine is always the same. Meditation, vision, gratitude, look at my vision board and understand why I'm doing it. And that keeps you motivated, whether or not you're moving through a tough time in COVID and everyone's feeling depressed and everyone actually really needs us or not. It will continue to motivate you. So has anyone got any questions on that or anything they want to add? No. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a boomerang. So I'm going to stop recording.